Hello, and welcome to the Let's Talk Fabulous show. And it is Grandparents' Day today, and it's a perfect day to be able to celebrate our wonderful grandparents, or if you're a grandparent, I want to celebrate you today, and also talk about just the art of celebration in general and how grandparents, as well as the rest of us, create memorable moments in our lives and celebrating. So, you know what? I've got wonderful people here who are going to be sharing all of their wisdom to talk about this. So let's talk. All right. Hello again. I am Gloria Grace Rand, one of the Fab Five hosts of the show, and I am delighted to be here with you again. And I want to welcome our digital audience, and whether you're watching live, maybe hashtag live in the comments, or hashtag replay if you're watching on replay, and if you're watching this on, we also stream live on E360 TV, which is an amazing network and that we'd love here at the Let's Talk Fab show. And I want to introduce this fabulous panel that I have here. So I'm going to let them just say their name and where you are in the world right now. So I'm going to start on my whatever next to me is Noemi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Noemi Beres, and I live in Cyprus, on the beautiful island of Cyprus in Europe.
All right. And next to Noemi, we have Anna.
Hello, my name is Enoh. I live in Massachusetts.
All right. Welcome. And then down below, we got Michele.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michele Blood, and I'm right now in the beautiful mountains of San Diego County.
Oh, nice. All right. And last but certainly not least, Randy.
Hello, I'm Randy Rolfe, and I'm in the suburbs of the historic city, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, we've got the United States and the world covered today, so I love that. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to talk about celebration. And so I would love for each of you to maybe just share one or two sentences about the phrase, the art of celebration, what that means to you. So I'm going to start with Noemi.
Yes, I mean, I love this question. It's for me, it's about shifting the focus from getting into giving people something when it comes to celebration. I live by the go-giver way, and for me, it's about adding to people's life, adding value to people's lives. So for me, that's the celebration, the art of celebration, giving back to my family, to my community, to my friends.
I love that. How about you, Anna?
For me, celebration is like rewarding somebody from a hard work. For example, you spend how many years in college? The day you graduate is a big celebration. For example, you are looking for love, when you finally find one, your wedding day is a celebration, big one. So for me, celebration means acknowledging someone for a hard job, for something that they earned. Thank you.
I love that. How about you, Randy?
Yes, I think the art of celebration is about awareness and presence and connecting those people you're with and acknowledging them and taking the time to relate, just connecting.
All right. And Michele, how about you?
Well, to me, celebration is every moment that I'm alive. I celebrate life itself. I celebrate when I see people really living their life on purpose, and of course with giving and receiving, because a lot of spiritually minded people find it hard to receive. So when they've learned how to receive, I think that's also a celebration. And just every moment that I breathe is really, I'm so grateful for life.
Amen.
And that's perfect because you get into that in this video that we're going to watch right now.
Celebration, creating those beautiful moments and remembering them and recalibrating ourselves as we remember them. This is what this is all about. for you. Hello, my name is Michele Blood, and a little about myself. I was a rock singer in Australia for many, many years, wrote lots of great songs for my band and for other people. And then what happened, which was an amazing moment, I had a near truck accident. I'm not near, I actually had a truck accident, but I was in the truck and it was absolutely devastating to my body, mind, and spirit. I was in the hospital for months and months and months, many broken bones. But that was the best moment that had ever happened to me. So sometimes tragedy turns us into great success. I went on to create affirmation power, music songs to heal my body, worked with the great late Bob Proctor for 7 years straight, actually ran his business from Kuala Lumpur. I worked with Deepak Chopra, Stuart Wilde. So many people traveled all over the world, all from the momentum of a bad truck accident.
So I want to have you expand on that a little bit because, it seems very counterintuitive that an accident, one where you're in the hospital, I mean, how on earth can you celebrate that? So what happened for you to be able to make that shift, I guess, in reframing that from something horrible to something that you could actually celebrate?
Yeah, because my life was really, after many, many years, I had the best band. We got Time Warner label, record label. We were touring with the best, biggest bands in the world. And we had our own huge audience and things were great. And I'd worked so hard to get there. So why would that be the best thing that ever happened to me? Well, it was because of the fact that in that hospital, so many people were sending me tapes and positive books and everything. And I'd always been very, very calibrated to use my willpower to get what I wanted in a lovely way, the right people, keeping the band harmonious and happy all the time. Happiness was always my number one goal for the audience, for the band, for everyone. But what happened was people were saying use affirmations, which I'd never heard of before. And then something within me, because I attempted to say, I am healed, I know I am, I love myself, I am my friend. But it wasn't working because the doubting mind, when you're in a hospital and you're actually in physical pain, the doubting mind kept saying, no. So I had a spiritual epiphany. You're a singer-songwriter, sing it. So just one day I started singing, I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. And I recorded it over and over again onto a cassette. And all the Gen X people Google what cassette is. And I listened to it over and over again, went into studio after having miraculous healing, recorded tons more affirmation pop songs because no one else had done it before. But just for me and my band, I didn't know it would go on to be a global successful thing.
Wow, that's amazing. How about any of you? Have you, like Noemi, do you ever do like affirmations like that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm big on that. I started about 10 years ago. And for me, I grew up in Eastern Europe, in Eastern Central Europe. So we are kind of, there's always like a black, cloud hanging over our country and our mood. So I really had to get out of that space. So consciously, I started to work on myself and on my inner peace about 10, 15 years ago when I was in my early 30s. And it really helped me to change my mindset. So whenever I go home, it's so much easier now because I can deal with the negativity that surrounds me. So that was a big, it's a big breakthrough for me. And yes, I meditate every morning and I say my mantras, my affirmations, and your life is just so much better. And I'm just in awe of Michele, like, Bob Proctor and everything. I mean, he's kind of the god in that space. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Randy, how about you?
I did a lot with Bob Proctor, many of his presentations, and it's neat to meet you, Michele, again. Yeah, I say affirmations before I open my eyes. I just celebrate the day, being alive. Oops, I just lost my earbud. And just my husband and I celebrate regularly. We love having dinners and breakfast together. And it's just part of our lives, for sure.
Absolutely. And in fact, since you mentioned that, I'm going to go ahead and show your video right now as well. So hang on a second.
Hi, it's Randy Rolfe here, and I want to share one of our favorite ways to celebrate. It's on the 15th of every month, and it's our anniversary, our monthly anniversary of our wedding in 1969, March 15th. And of course, my mom said, oh, you would get married on the Ides of March when they assassinated Julius Caesar. But it was a great day. It was a warm, snowy day in March in Philadelphia area, and we've been celebrating it every month. We pulled out the top of our wedding cake that first month and ate that, and I'd frozen it for a month, and we've been celebrating every month since.
Okay, now I know you're this amazing person. You know, you've been an attorney, you've been, you know, you're an author, you're a lifetime family life expert and things like that. But okay, you are celebrating your anniversary every single month, and I forgot to do the math. I can only imagine it's like thousands of months that you've been doing this continuously. How on earth have you been able to do that?
Well, it's not even 1,000 yet. It's only about 675.
Okay.
But we usually do start a bottle of champagne to celebrate, and I try to cook a special dinner, one of our favorites, or we go out to dinner to one of our fancier favorite restaurants, and we sometimes have friends in to celebrate. On the big O's, we have, and the fives, we have a big party. And it just means so much because my husband was an estate planner and a lawyer as well. And he said that so many people did not remember, that was something he asked when they were planning their estate, when were you married? And they wouldn't know. They would not remember their anniversary, not even the wives sometimes. And he was like, well, don't you celebrate it once a year? In movies, they're like, you forgot our anniversary. But no, we never forget. It's the 15th and we look forward to it. And my husband has already bought a filet mignon for this 15th. So it just means so much to remind ourselves why we're in love and why, and gives us a moment to remember wonderful moments in our courtship and our life. And we say, my gosh, how did it go by so fast? And then we also say, wow, look at what we packed into our 55 years together. So, we get to look at both ways, and it cements our marriage in a way that nothing but celebration can do.
I love that. Anna, I want to put you in the spotlight here, and because I know that you're also, you're a grandparent as well. So obviously you've have had love in your life. So what do you do to celebrate your family and your relationships?
Number one, I celebrate every day because waking up and being healthy, people take it for granted. I don't. So that's my number one celebration. Every day you see me, I'm happy, thankful to God. And then I'm a grandmother. I celebrated my grandson's graduation from high school in June. And we also celebrated his leaving to the university last month. That brought the whole family, all young grandparents, everybody together. We celebrated that. And I'm so thankful to God that He has blessed me. And I have no reason not to celebrate Him every day and be thankful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Michele, how about you? Do you have you do any sort of family celebrations as well as celebrating the fact that you're alive and that things are wonderful?
No. Well, I'm a bit of a monk. Well, totally a monk, actually. I live in seclusion because my whole life is about mysticism and teaching mysticism. And all my family live in Australia, and I do go and see them once a year, and I love my family very much. But they're not on the same sort of path as I am. And I've been on the road since I was a teenager, as a singer. So I've never really didn't have Christmases or anything with my family. I love them, but I have my soul family. I have a soul family. I have many, many beautiful friends and soul family all over the world, and I celebrate with them, and we're always there for each other in every moment. So Thank you for asking.
I love that. Well, I think I want to celebrate actually this whole idea of celebration, and I'm gonna play this wonderful song that we have put together today to really focus in on, and it'll help us, I think, talk about some other areas about memorable moments and things too.
From Grandma's smile to Grandpa's song, stories we've carried all along.
Every laugh, every tear, a treasure we keep, a lifetime of memories rooted deep.
We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes a wing. From grandparents' love to dreams brand new, the art of celebration shines in you. The road's been rough, the night was long, but we found our strength, we still belong.
Even broken roads can lead us home. Together we rise, never alone.
We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes a wing. From grandparents' love to dreams brand new, the art of celebration shines in you. Pictures may fade, but the love remains. Every challenge paints brighter days. Hand in hand, we'll make it through. Every moment's a gift made for me and you. We lift our hearts, we dance, we sing. Through every trial, joy takes a wing. From stories past to futures true, the art of celebration shines in you. The art of celebration shines in you.
Okay, so there was a lot going on in that video, and I've got like so many questions that I want to ask each of you or have you talk about. And I think one of the things that I noticed in there is, talking about, we talked about, because today is Grandparents' Day, and dealing with different generations. So I was wondering if, I thought we could talk about how do we make celebrations inclusive for like different generations. I know Anna had mentioned earlier about, graduation and things like that, but maybe just are there other ways that we can, bring different generations together? So, Noemi, what's your thought about that?
Oh, I love this question. Growing up in Hungary, and it's always important, the food in our life. Like Hungarian food it plays a focus point. So what we did, like every Sunday, my mom cooked like a very special Hungarian, dishes and lunch. And so my grandparents came from the other city, and we celebrated, the Sunday lunch together. And that was our thing. That always happened. We never skipped any lunches. If my mom didn't do it, we went to the city to visit my grandparents, and my grandma did it. So and I'm doing it. So I took this tradition and I implement it every day for my family. Although I live in Cyprus, I still make all those Hungarian dishes for my family because it's tradition. That's how we celebrate our heritage. And I think this is really important. And I had amazing grandparents, and they cooked amazing Sunday lunches too. So.
I love that. How about you, Randy? What are your thoughts about this, or even anything else after watching that video?
Absolutely. We have a lot of traditions in our family, and we bring everybody together. At one point, we had so many generations. We had 20 people for Thanksgiving for about 10 years in a row. But I like having events, cooking together, for instance, getting the little ones up on the stairs so they can sort the salad, and the bigger ones slicing up the onions and all of that kind of thing. And decorating the Christmas tree, each person liked a different part of the process. And in my parenting book, The 7 Secrets of Successful Parents, celebration is number 7, is the parent saying, I celebrate my child, whether they've pulled out the right shoes that morning or they're graduating from college. You want to make a big deal of it, that you love them, that they're worthwhile, that life is good. So getting, and the other thing is I wanted a swimming pool, because I know as a parent, your teenagers will bring their friends over if you have a swimming pool. And I love to swim, and now they do. And their grandchildren have grandchildren from 18 to 1 year old, and they come over to swim. So just any activity you can do together, even just taking a walk around the neighborhood after a dinner.
Very good. How about you, Anna? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, coming from Nigeria, I have to bring my tradition to my kids here. All my kids were born here. If I didn't bring it, they would not even know my background. So for Thanksgiving, couple of weekends, not every weekend, but a couple of weekends, we do get together so that we celebrate, we enjoy each other. I teach them my language a little bit. In fact, when I took my kids home to visit, many of the home people didn't even realize they don't speak my language that much, because I teach them basic, hello, how are you, and so on. So they acted like they knew the language. I have to imbibe my tradition into the current tradition, mix them up so that they can survive wherever they are. I'm comfortable if I throw them anywhere, I know they'll be okay.
Very good. Michele, what are your thoughts, or especially like even just what did you think even watching the video, since you are a musician and a singer?
Well, I love the song, and the video was great. And I do so many videos with my affirmation songs because it helps so much. It's just so clever you put that together, because when you can visualize something, it stops the doubting mind. So it brings into perspective, immediately the joy. And this is what I love about music. Music really changes, and you can celebrate by just listening to your favorite songs and dancing around, whether it's Casey and the Sunshine Band or whoever it is. I'm showing my age, but that's okay. And I always encourage people to celebrate, because I love for people to finish something that they've started. And whether it's a book, I don't care if it's cleaning out their closet, whatever it is, I always encourage them to celebrate in some way after they've done something, because we're all little children inside. So it helps to give yourself a little reward after I say to them, just get a pedicure, whatever it is. You cleaned out your closet. Good job. Celebrate.
That is a really good point. I so appreciate that for sure. And I just saw some purple hearts going by, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate that with a little video. Yeah, so we do that to just to remember and celebrate some of our folks who've been good friends of the show and who hold a special place in our hearts. I want to put Anna back in the spotlight for a minute because you know what, it's Grandparents' Day, and I know, well, of course, I think we have another grandparent here as well with Randy, but I know I wanted to be able to also highlight your video right now because you talk about another important point. I love that Michele talked about, celebrating just simple moments because, if I I cleaned toilets yesterday, okay, I'm celebrating that I got that done. It's a thankless chore, but it had to get done. But Anna's video talks about something else, so I want to play that, and then we're going to talk some more with you.
I celebrate me every day. You may say, that's crazy. Yes, I do, because I have seen God's blessing on me, how he has led me, how he has made me help others. There's not one single moment of my life that I'm not happy and thankful and celebrating me. Others may celebrate me, they don't celebrate me, it doesn't matter. If you don't celebrate yourself first, if you don't accept yourself first, whatever other people do to you, So I am a very happy, thankful woman for where I am and for where the Lord has taken me through so far in life. It is phenomenal to be a grandmother. Oh my goodness, the excitement of seeing the kids growing up and seeing their activities. Oh my goodness. My grandkids are into taekwondo, they're into soccer, they're into so many things. It's very, very exciting.
I love that. And I love that you talk about, the importance of celebrating yourself. And, you mentioned earlier that, that you're teaching your kids about, your traditions because you grew up in Nigeria. And so even though, you have a lot to celebrate now, I know it wasn't always that way. And I was wondering if you could share with us just a little bit about your experience and growing up, and that how then you were able to be this upbeat, lovely woman that we see today.
I was the last of 6 kids. I came so late that my nephews and nieces, people say, they say, is this your uncle? So I was raised as an only child because the rest of my siblings were all grown and out. In fact, my name means God's gift. My mom gave me that name because she said if it were human, they would have thought we were too old to have a baby. So she named me God's gift. So I was a spoiled brat. But my brother came home with a 9-month-old baby. I had never seen him. That was the first time I met my own brother. And I said to my mom, wherever he came from, I am going with them to babysit this baby. My mom wasn't happy because I was the only one with her at home. But she said, if that's what you want, all right, I'll let you go. I had no idea that I was signing myself into trouble. I went, I only had fun for 2 weeks. From then on, my brother's wife abused me, made me feel like I didn't belong to the family, which shocked me. My parents had never raised their voice at me. I was beaten, I have scars all over myself, I was starved. It was so shocking. I couldn't believe it. We went home after 3 years. Immediately we got home, I just took off my clothes, showed my mother my whole body filled with black and blue scars. We cried together. My mom didn't say anything. At the end of that vacation, my mom said to me, "You are going back with them." I was like, "What? Going back with them?" We live 3 days in the train and 1 day in a lorry to get to where my brother was working. That was the only reason why I stayed. I couldn't run back home. I could have been out of there within a month. She said to me, "Go back." My mom said to me, "Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. Go and complete what you've started." She said, "If they kill you, I won't even ask them because God will ask them." I couldn't believe it. I was sick before we left from crying. I went back. The Lord was there with me, and I survived it. When I survived my brother's house, the last day I walked out was, by the grace of God, I am aiming at my freedom for the rest of my life. How I was going to get that as a child, I said, it's only education. If I have a good education, I'm going to end up with a good job. And then I can move on. It doesn't matter who I marry, as long as I can maintain myself. I don't want anybody to be a burden to me, punish me in any form. By the grace of God, I get emotional about it. I'm so sorry. By the grace of God, He pulled me through. I found my way to the US by myself. Survived to get a PhD in nursing. Went home, got married, brought my husband here with me. The life I'm living today, to have the opportunity to give to the society, I can't put a price on that. I am eternally grateful to the Lord for putting me through what I went through in my brother's house, because if I did not go through that, I will not be who I am or where I am today. That was...
Thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you for that, because I think that is so important to, kind of like, when, Michele talked about her truck's accident, and that is that sometimes these, painful things can happen to us, but they also do help to create us and maybe take us down a new path. And I'm so grateful that you were able to be able to do that, and you can now celebrate yourself. Like you said, I think that's so important. Absolutely. So I want to have you all maybe talk again about, we talked a little bit about, I want to talk about creating like memorable moments, the little things that we can do. And so maybe I'm gonna go to Randy and have you talk about what are maybe some ways that we can kind of turn everyday moments, like we kind of talked a little bit about, into a meaningful celebration. What would you suggest?
Well, one of the things I like to do is when I see that a friend has achieved something they were after, like writing a book, because I'm a writer, I will call them or send them an email. And if they're nearby, I'll suggest getting together for coffee, just some kind of acknowledgement, or sending them a congratulations card. Cards are still mean a lot. And I know Canada's talking about shutting down their post office, but cards are nice, and I still send Christmas cards, and people often call me and say, "Oh, we loved hearing about your grandchildren." And so just acknowledging people in simple ways is it means a lot. And if you think about, what would I like to happen if I do something, and just do that to the other people.
There you go. That's a good idea. And I think that's important too. We live in such a digital age, everything is on the computer. We're always on our phones and things like that. But I know I do appreciate getting mail, real mail. I think is so good. Noemi, what do you think about this? And then I'm probably gonna show your video in a moment too. But
just giving compliments to each other, because we stopped doing that, and we don't really have, we're not happy to accept compliments either. We're just too shy to do that. And I think it's so important to giving them and accepting them. And speaking of cards, I got this on the post this week. And this is from one of my friends from the US. And, it's amazing when you get just a few words, a few lines and kind words. I think that's so important and just, lights up your day, brings you joy.
Yeah, for sure. And I know there's, we talked about, I want to play your video because it really speaks to this creating some memorable moments and how you do that.
Hello, this is Noemi here. I live in Cyprus in Europe. Originally, I'm from Hungary and I moved here 13 years ago. And my family's history plays a very important role in my life because I am a mixed media collage artist, which also means that I make hands-on collages on canvas. And as you can see behind me, all these pictures sewn together, they are from my family's history from Hungary. I sew my family's history together. And this is like a kind of a virtual diary for me. And I want to share this with the world where I come from. And I'm proud of my heritage. And I'm very interested in sharing my stories with you and my collages through my collages.
So I love that you have those collages. I think it's such a great way because, I love putting together photo albums, but I think it's so unique the way you did that. So what prompted you to start, capturing memories this way, as opposed to just a scrapbook?
Yeah, the reason was the pandemic, like for everything else. I didn't really have much supply at home and the shops were closed and we didn't really have much, online shopping here in Cyprus. So what I did, I started to upcycle, recycle my previous projects. And because glue doesn't stick in Cyprus because it's too humid and hot. So I started to sew everything on these canvases. And it became a ritual of mine. Like every evening I put on my headphone, I was listening to a podcast or a book because I'm like a bookworm. And I started to sew my memories and my family's memories together on these canvases. And for me, it's like a meditative space. I enjoy it so much. It brings me calm, joy, and just peacefulness before I go to bed in the evening. It brings me so much joy. And if I can share that with other people, like you can see, behind me, I have some, from my family's history. And I also made some trips to Europe and to Africa and different countries. And I also brought these postcards back from home because we used to buy postcards back in those days. And so I sew those postcards on these canvases because they are all my memories. This is my diary.
I love that. So if someone is watching this and wants to do something like this, but maybe they're not, really crafty or not or handy, I should say, with a thread and a needle, what other ways can we preserve memories like this so that we can, celebrate, have even future generations celebrate them?
Yeah, there are so many ways, and so many people talk about it. They're not creative. We were born creative, so we can totally do that. Like my son, when he was like 3-4 years old, so I gave him a pair of scissors and some glue, and let's make some paper collages, cut and paste collages, and you can totally do that. If my 4-year-old could do that, you can do it too. You just cut up things that you love, like, from old books or from magazines that remind you something, or you use old postcards or pictures, and you can just glue it on a piece of paper and voila, that's your collage. And it's just so easy to do. One of the things that you can do that.
Well, I love that and I appreciate that. I want to maybe also just kind of put this out to everybody for a second and just how do you balance, let's say, honoring traditions? You've talked about food and things like that, knowing me about that, having, cooking Hungarian dishes. How do we balance honoring traditions with maybe creating new ways to celebrate? What do you think, Randy? What do you think about that?
Yeah, sure. I one of the things I remember doing one Christmas, we each had these ideas. Oh, we have to do this. We have to do this. We have to do this. And we got together and sat down and said, okay, what's number one? What makes this Christmas for you? So we made sure that the 4 things that were top of mind for each person got done. And then we could go to the second level. But we took all the stress out of it. Like, oh, are we going to go see the Railroad Museum local at the Brandywine and that kind of thing. And so then for new things, I think also allowing suggestions. Does anybody want to do something new? And as kids get older, they're like, well, I'd really like to rent my favorite Christmas movie or, something like that. And we also have digital photo frames that have our celebration times in like several hundred. And we'll see my grandson when he was 16, when he was 10, when he was 2. Now I can't tell him apart from the other 2-year-old that's 2 now. So, but just being open to suggestions. And if it doesn't go over well, you can try it next year.
Very good. Very good. Well, I tell you what, because, oh my gosh, our show is like, time is flying as we're talking about this, but I want to play one other song that is it's a real favorite here at the Let's Talk Fab show, and it's really all about kind of all about what we've been talking about today. And so I'm gonna play that one right now. And
In the quiet moments, when the sun begins to rise, we find the strength within us. In the stories of our lives, not in gold or glory, but in hearts we've touched with grace, in the love we share with others, in each kind and gentle face. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. Through the trials and the triumphs, in the battles that we fight, it's the courage and the kindness that will always shine so bright. In the lessons that we teach and the dreams that we inspire, in the way we lift each other higher and higher. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. In the final song you sung, and the curtains drawing near, it's the moments filled with love that will echo year to year. In the footprints on the path that guide the lost and blind, your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held, the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you've sparked in others, in the stories that are told. So let's live with open hearts and give with all our might, for the legacy we leave is a beacon in the night, in the echoes of our actions, in the whispers of the wind. Our legacy of love is where it all begins. Our legacy of love is where it all begins.
thoughts you've left behind.
All right. I don't know about you, but I love that song. I want to ask a question now. And what is the most creative celebration either you've developed or maybe that you've experienced that brought people together in a memorable way? How about you, Michele? Have you?
Oh, so many things. I love celebrating and putting on events and having, like when Bob Proctor first worked with me, it's like, what is this, a rock concert? Got people up on stage singing these affirmations, celebrating. And I just think music is the most important thing. But what I always encourage people to do is every single day, do something that's going to give joy to somebody else. Because they did all these really, really intense tests on people who had deep depression. And they got all these people who had deep depression. They made them go out every day because they were actually hospitalized. They would take them to go and do something, make sandwiches for the homeless or go and visit vets and bring them flowers. And these people, 98% of them became healed through doing things for other people because their depression wasn't a dark night of the soul. That's something different. That's a very inward spiritual experience. But depression is something that is extremely challenging. But what better way to heal yourself is to do something every day to make other people happy, and then don't tell anybody that you've done it. So it's all like, that beautiful book, The Magnificent Obsession, all about that man who gave away all of these things and said, you can't give it back. I've already taken it. It's already been given to me, so you can't pay me back. And another thing, a little tip for everyone to celebrate their life, which is so fun. It's like so fun. So funner. And it's you get just little sticky notes and you put little notes on them like, be still, remember to breathe, today celebrate your life, remember there is love and God is your creator, go and do something fun today, finish that goal, just stop for a minute and breathe. And you put all of these, or you're a magnet to money today, expect great gifts. Just all these different great affirmations and positive thoughts, and then you put them everywhere. If there's a book you read maybe more than once a year, put it in the book. Coat pockets, put money in coat pockets as well that you forget about later, and then later, oh, there's a 50. and it's so much fun because then the drawer that you're going to clean one day, and then you see all these sticky notes, and you can just put them all over the place. Where you're going to dust, you put them underneath something that you're going to dust maybe twice a year. And it's such a great way to celebrate life and to remember, because sometimes it's very easy with a busy life to remember you've got to do these things and to remember your own life and remember to breathe and all that sort of thing. So
absolutely. That is so good. How about you, Anna? What do you think? Have you experienced or maybe created your own celebration maybe for your family that really brought people together in a memorable way?
Yes, I have.
In fact,
in 2019, I took my grandkids, my daughter-in-law for the first time. My children have been to Nigeria, but for my daughter-in-law and the kids, this was their first time. It was phenomenal. It was so nice for them to go and meet my family at home and for my family to meet them. I can't even, it was up to today, my grandkids are mom, or they call me mom. Mom, when are we going back to Nigeria? Any celebration? Oh, this should be done in Nigeria. Why don't we go to Nigeria to do this? I was like, wow, thank God that we were able to go then, because right after that, the COVID started, and if we didn't go there, I wouldn't have been able to make it to there. Another thing that I wanted to share is God put people in your life for a reason and put you in people's life for a reason. Don't take things for granted. You have no idea the impact people have on you and you have on people. Right now, I have been a teacher for the past 25 years. Everywhere I go, I meet my students that I don't even recognize. Most of them I don't recognize. And if you see the reception, the happiness when we meet again. In fact, I met one yesterday. She said, I thought her 20 years ago. I'm like, oh my God. So give and you will receive. And that is how the world is. We have a world of two-way street, not a one-way street. It's a give and take. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. We're running out of time, and it's driving me crazy. But I want to do one other quick question, and I'm going to have Randy, you answer this one. So, what is the most important element you think that transforms an ordinary gathering into one that's memorable that we can celebrate?
Well, what comes to mind is just having fun, laughing, making people smile and laugh together. Laughing together is the most healing thing you can do. As Michele was saying, just do something for someone else and they'll smile. I'll never forget when they would have, grumpy cashiers sometimes when you're going through a line, and you can go home thinking, well, she was really a grump. So I decided, I started saying, well, you must be having a difficult day. And they smile and nod and you've changed their day. So it's really simple to help people realize that life is good and that you can touch other people that you don't even know.
Yes.
I love that. How about you, Noemi?
For me, it's being present, because we are never present in our lives anymore. There's so many distractions, mobile phones, social media, everything, our businesses, and just being present for each other and being there for them. I think that's the biggest gift that we can give to them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we've got 2 minutes left. So I want each of you to go and just tell me if you want to give our audience one last word of advice of how they can best celebrate, just to maybe celebrate their lives in general. What would that be? How about you, Anna? One quick thought.
Be happy, accept yourself, because when you accept yourself, it's easy for you to accept others. Give and take and give, and it makes the world so much a better place. Thank you.
I love it. How about you, Michele? What's your
Every
advice?
day, write down or just say it out loud. Thank you for my beautiful, prosperous, happy, joyful life. And then, you will have that. Just remember to say that all the time, and don't complain. Forget complaining. Get that out of the window and your life will change.
Love it. Randy, how about you?
I would say first thing, when you're looking in the mirror, smile at yourself. Don't look for imperfection. Be grateful for life. Just smile at yourself, and your whole face and your whole feeling will change.
Love it. And Noemi, last word?
I think celebration is not about the size of the party, but it's size of our presence, and that's very important.
Yes, very awesome. I love it. Well, I have really enjoyed having all of you here today to celebrate. And again, I want to wish all of the grandparents out there and the grandparents here on our panel a happy Grandparents' Day, because, grandparents are amazing. My mother spoiled my kids rotten. And so, it was wonderful. And watching her be a grandparent. I hope maybe one day I will have that luxury. I don't know for sure. But I just appreciate all of you for watching, and I encourage you to go out and create those memorable moments in your life and create that fabulous life. And until we meet again, just, go out and celebrate. So we'll see you next time.
Thank you.